Hi, I'm Nate.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Annie.
And this is Inside the Mind of a Cosplayer.
My name is Annie Cooper. I'm 27 years old, and I've been cosplaying for pretty much my entire life.
I'm Sarah. I'm 29, and I've been cosplaying for about 12 years now.
My name is Nate. I'm 24 years old, and I've been cosplaying for about 10-ish years.
Merida is really cool and confident, and she's got fun hair. One of my favorite Disney princesses, and I just felt like I could look like her, and I want to be like her.
It's less that I have specific favorite cosplays and more that I have general favorites. Usually it's more a matter of which ones are currently in my rotation.
Callum is just a character that I aspire to be. He's quirky, he's smart, very resourceful, he's loving, and I just see myself in Callum.
I was going to my first convention, and I thought everyone had to dress up. So I scrambled and was like, I need to go buy a costume, so I bought Kagome. She's not my favorite character in Inuyasha. Sango is, and I did actually make a Sango cosplay a few years after that.
I first got into cosplay thanks to a wonderful webcomic called Homestuck. I started reading it when I was about 12 years old. I really liked these two characters, John Egbert and Kankri Vantas. And in my mind, I had to become those characters. So I begged my mother to sew me both of those cosplays. I might not have pictures of John anymore, but I still have one of me as Kankri with my friends with that glorious gray face paint, the candy corn horns, and they were good times.
Well, I have been general cosplaying pretty much my entire life. Even when I was tiny, I would like to try and dress up as the characters I was watching in movies. The first specific instance I can think of as cosplay was when the second Harry Potter movie came out. And there was an instance coming up on Halloween where my mom had just started wearing reading glasses, and I was sitting at the kitchen table doing my very early elementary school homework, and my mom was sitting with me with her new reading glasses perched on the edge of her nose and her hair done up in a bun, and I looked over to her and I just said, "You look like Professor McGonagall." And that year for Halloween, my mom put together an amazing Professor McGonagall cosplay, and I ended up going as Hermione Granger, crimped hair and all.
If I see myself in that character, that's when I decide I want to cosplay this character. Specifically, Steven Universe. I have very curly hair. It's easy. I don't have to wear a wig. But all the other characters I cosplay, there's just something about their personality that calls out to me, and I have to cosplay them. As for making the cosplay, I don't sew. I buy pieces, my mother sews, I do props. Props come easy, sewing, not so much.
So what inspires me mostly is out of necessity. If as a plus size woman, it's hard to find ready-made costumes in my size, so I mostly have to make them if I can't find them. So that does involve sewing, sometimes sewing from scratch, like my Sakura Miku cosplay, and then sometimes I alter, and then sometimes I buy. I like characters that I can vibe with. I like characters that I feel I can relate to, or I want to aspire to be, like Merida and her confidence and her outgoingness, and I have none of that. So it's nice to try to put that on.
What inspires me to pick a character is usually a combination of how much I relate to a character versus how similar that character is to my personal style. Sometimes it's a mix thereof, sometimes it's one or the other. As for whether or not I sew versus put it together from pieces, or even just commissioning somebody for it, is typically a matter of how complex the outfit is. If it's something simpler, I'm far more likely to sew it myself, whereas if it's something incredibly elaborate, I'm more likely to purchase either the entire thing or just simply parts and assemble it together.
I was telling my mom that in the future, when I have my own apartment, my dream is to have just a small space for myself where I could just focus on making cosplay props and cosplays.
Maybe not to the same scale as I do currently, but I would certainly love to still be cosplaying 10 years from now.
Hopefully, 10 years from now, I will be pushing 40. So I'm sure I will be, just maybe on a smaller scale, more closet cosplays, simple stuff, small alterations.
I like the sense of community. What I dislike are just creepy people. I've seen it, heard plenty. I don't like those kind of people.
So the things I like is the community. I think the community is mostly very good. Like, people get really excited when you're cosplaying from their favorite show or their favorite video game. If you're the same character as them, they get really excited and they want to take a selfie with you, and that's always like super fun. You can get big groups together from whole shows. And something I dislike is sometimes there can be like creeps in the community. They might, like, if you're a woman or female presenting, they might, like, single you out, ogle you, but usually it's not too bad.
Cons in general tend to be very welcoming, and I love the atmosphere at them. But this is certainly far more prevalent online. There's a certain aspect of the community who are very picky about things like skin color if you don't look like a specific character. Or for some people, it's a matter of if you didn't sew your cosplay, then you're not a real cosplayer. And that is an attitude I very much do not like.
You can start small. You don't have to dive head first. You can dip your toes in. So like closet cosplays, choose a character, t-shirt and jeans, but recognizable. You can alter things. Like, I made Bean from Disenchanted. I just altered 2 t-shirts together to make her tunic, and that's pretty simple. You can just make a little plumb bob and be a sim.
Don't worry about if you look like that character, just be that character. No one really cares if you look like that character or not. Just do you, become someone new, and have fun. That's what cosplay is about, having fun.
I would say go for it. Doesn't matter how complex the outfit is. If you want to do something small, that is entirely fair. If you want to take on an ambitious project, go for it. All you gotta do is just start.